Strong for God Warriors, here to talk about life from a biblical and spiritual perspective. And today, I'm going to be telling you all about the final battle, which some people call Armageddon. Now, this final battle is part of the spiritual war that I always talk about between good and evil, God versus the devil. Now, if you don't know how we got up to this point, I recommend that you go and check out my spiritual warfare playlist. I go more in depth about the beginning of the war and like the whole spiritual war all the way up to now. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the final battle. So, there is war. There was war in heaven, and there is war on earth now. As I'm going to talk about in those other videos, if you haven't seen them yet. In the beginning, after God created everything, Satan, well, back then he was just called Lucifer, who was the chief angel in heaven, decided that he wanted to be like God and rebel against God. And then God kicked him out when Archangel Michael defeated him and cast him down to the earth. Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 through 12 says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation, and strength, and the kingdom of God, kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So all those verses I just read y'all, that basically explains how the devil fell from heaven. The holy angels led by Archangel Michael fought against Lucifer and all the angels that wanted to rebel against him, against God. And then the holy angels defeated the rebel angels and cast them down to the earth. And now that's how the war started. And if you continue on in Revelation chapter 12 verse 17, it says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ." So that right there was saying that after Lucifer, now the dragon, fell to earth, now he is mad with all the followers of Christ, the very little bit that are still on earth, that still serving Christ and keeping his commandments and all that. And he wants to make war with them. He wants to attack them because he was angry. And well, when I make these videos, I'm trying to really encourage everybody that's with Christ to stand up strong and fight against the devil, because he would love to take us out. He would love to make us miserable and take away all our joy. But that's why we have to stand up and fight against him, because he did not win in heaven. He will not win on earth either. Now, as you can already tell, as we live this life on earth, we see a lot of bad things happening in the world. A lot of evil. I mean, every time you turn on the news, it's like somebody got hurt, got killed or kidnapped, something like that. And this is all the effect of this spiritual war. Now, in the spirit realm, although we can't see it, there is always fighting going on between good and evil. And although we cannot see it, we know it affects us, because when things happen in the spirit, remember that I said that everything starts off in the spirit. So when good and evil fight in the spirit, that eventually affects the physical world. That's why you see um, good things and bad things happening in the world, because it all starts with that spiritual war. And in my previous video about the signs that the second coming of Jesus is near, I explained that evil will be at its most high right before he comes back, which we can see that going on. To name a few, we have sickness, killing, selfishness, immorality, and all of that, just to name a few. And when Jesus comes back, this is when the final battle will take place. This is when Jesus is saying, okay, um, everybody should have had a chance to get ready. And so he's going to come and wipe out all the evil on the earth. And we have to be ready. Now, the Bible says that no one knows the day or the hour that Jesus will return. But Jesus himself did say that he was coming quickly. And he will be like a thief in the night, which means it's going to be a surprise. So you could be walking around doing anything, and then the sky just opens up and then Jesus is here. And so we have to be ready beforehand. We must make sure that we are fired up for God, and that we are reading the Word, and we're praying and all of that, so that when Jesus comes, we'll be ready and we'll be on his side and not with the world, because you already know what's going to happen to the world when Jesus comes back. They're not going to be looking good. In fact, I've even heard a lot of people say that like they don't think Jesus is coming back for a long time, and maybe Jesus is not coming back or something like that. But if you look in John chapter 14, verses 2 and 3, Jesus himself said, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you into myself, that where I am, there ye may be also." So that right there, Jesus was saying, I'm just going away for a little while. I'm just going to make y'all a place in heaven, and so y'all will be good. And then I'm coming back to receive y'all. Jesus didn't leave to never come back. He said in his word that he was coming back, and Jesus never lies. So keep that in mind. So that's how you know that Jesus really is coming back. And then I'm sure you might be saying, but he said he was coming quickly. Yes, he is coming quickly. Remember, God exists outside of time. What's long for us may not be long for God. Maybe 2,000 years is not long for God. Because God is always present. He has no beginning or ending, no birth or death, but he's always there. Now, yeah, that's kind of hard for us to understand, because we are always under the control of time. But before time even existed, God existed. Just think about Genesis chapter 1, when like the first few verses, God created heaven and earth. Before there was heaven and earth, there was God, which means God was before time. God is outside of time. God is not ran by time, but God runs time. So Jesus could be back any minute now. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Remember that Jesus was only gone to prepare a place for us in heaven. So now that we are seeing all the signs unfold, we can assume that all the tables are set, everything is ready. So Jesus is about to make his grand appearance the second time. And when Jesus returns, he'll wipe out all the evil. Remember when the Bible said that the devil has a short time? He knows that Jesus is about to come back. And he doesn't know when, but he knows he's coming back. And when he does come back, that's when he's out of time. So right now, while he's on earth, he's trying to corrupt the world so he can bring as many souls down with him as he can. So that on that day, when Jesus makes his appearance, he can take down a lot of people with him. Because when Jesus gets back, he's going to attack all the evil and take them and throw them into the abyss, the lake of fire, which is hell. And an angel will take a key and lock it up so none of them can get out. So that's when the devil's time will be completely up. Now, a lot of people are actually scared to read the book of Revelation because of all the scary stuff in there. But if you're with God and you follow Christ, you really don't have anything to worry about. If you are following Christ, then when he comes back, he's not going to be attacking you. He could be attacking all those evil people. All we have to do is be strong for God and stand up to the devil and don't fall into his tricks, especially the mark of the beast, because that's a one-way ticket to hell. So yeah, do not be afraid. Remember that God planned all of this from the beginning. In fact, it says in Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So, that right there, God declared the end from the beginning. So even when he was creating the universe, he already knew how it was going to end. He already knew that there was going to be a final battle before the war even started. So that right there lets you know that God has a plan for everything. It doesn't matter what we're doing in life, but God had a plan for it. So you might think that something just popped up out of nowhere, but God already knew it was coming, and he already had a plan for it. And also, do not be afraid, because when you are with Christ, we are more than conquerors. It says in Romans chapter 8, verse 37, nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. So, Christ loves us, so as long as we're with him, we are more than conquerors. And if you have paid attention to history class, you know that anytime somebody conquers something, like if a nation conquered another nation, they were able to fight them, overpower them, and take over their territory. And for us to follow Christ, we are even greater than that. So that's really something to be happy about, something to smile about. So that's all I have for this video. Remember, just keep pushing, keep being strong for God. It'll be worth it in the end. Which, quite frankly, the end could be any minute now. As soon as Jesus comes back, if you are with Christ, you have won. But if you're not with Christ, you are lost. Be blessed, and remember, stay strong for God.